How you doing, guys? This is Eric from secretoftheinternet.com. I've had the opportunity to do a lot of traveling within the United States and a little bit internationally. It's something that I really love to do and something I plan on doing a lot more in the future. And I've come up with a few items that I really think everyone should bring with them, and certainly I've been very happy that I brought them with me on my recent trips, and definitely makes a big difference. I like to pack with just one carry-on size bag, pack really light, and even if I'm going for 10 days or something like that, just one little bag. So space is at a premium, but I definitely am happy that I've had these few items with me on the last couple trips I've been on. First item is anytime I'm going to have to travel by train, plane, or bus, or anything pretty much other than just a car with friends, is one of these neck pillows. Now, this is fairly large, so I don't stick this actually inside my carry-on bag because when space is at a premium, this takes up quite a bit of space. But you can just, if you have the space, if you're packing really light, go ahead and shove it in there. If not, you can just wear it on your neck. You can put it around the handles of the bag. When you're walking onto the plane, you can just have it on your neck so it doesn't take up too much space, and then just stick it on the bag or up in the compartment or something like that. If you are gonna get one of these, this one I think I got for $8, $10 at Ross, something like that. I think it was $7.99. I recommend getting one like this. It has square shape to it and is very firm, like memory foam style. A lot of times you'll see the round ones that are filled with like little beads or soft fluff that seems like it would be very comfortable, but it just smashes flat and offers no actual support, which is the whole purpose of a pillow like this. So you want it to be able to actually hold up your head a little bit and give you some support. So it does take up a little bit more space, definitely worth it, especially because they're not really any more expensive than the other kind. So I recommend picking up one of these. Nowadays, everyone uses their phone for everything from entertainment to looking up information, making hotel reservations, using a GPS for navigation, so that can quickly run down your battery. I definitely recommend getting a backup battery charger. This one is a very small one. You can fit it in your pocket. It's good for just like one complete charge, maybe 1.5, depending on how much juice your phone uses. You can get them all the way up to chargers that do 5 or 10 times. You just get bigger and bigger. If you are going to be somewhere like cities where you're going back to a hotel or somewhere where you can charge your phone and you're a backup charger every night, then you probably don't need one that does more than 1 or 1.5 charges. If you're going to be doing something like camping or a motorcycle trek across the Namibian desert or something, then yeah, maybe you'll want one that has 4 or 5 charges built into it before it needs to be recharged. The great thing about this one is those size. You can slip it in your pocket while you're walking around a city or somewhere downtown and just plug your phone into it and be using the GPS or whatever the whole time and not have to worry about it running out on you. Because it's really crappy if you're in a city that you've never been in before and the GPS navigation goes out. It's not the end of the world, but definitely makes it easier. You can easily find restaurants this way, do all sorts of stuff. So it's great to have access to extra power when you need it, especially the ones this size. This was like $8, I think. I'll have links to all the things that I'm talking about on Amazon in the description below or on a article at secretoftheinternet.com. Definitely recommend picking up a small battery charger though. When you're traveling, you're not always going to be in areas that are the safest, and that goes for being local too, not necessarily with traveling. But something like this Galco ankle safe is a good idea for storing valuables on yourself. Maybe not even just for anti-theft purposes, but just a comfortable way to carry stuff so you don't have it anchoring your pockets down. This is built to wrap around your ankle. It's made out of nice neoprene, so it's comfortable. You just slap this bad boy on there, and even if you get robbed, unless you get a full pat down by the crooks, they're not going to find the really good stuff. Keep a couple dollars in your pocket, cash, so that they get something and go on their way if you get robbed. But all your passport, your wallet, even your little charger, this has a pocket on here that little battery charger will fit in there perfectly. Not that that's necessarily valuable, but it just keeps you from having to hold it in your pocket and makes it comfortable. Even walking around all day, this is fairly comfortable, unless you put a ton of weight in. It's a great way to hide your stuff. I had to walk back in Charleston on this most recent trip I went to, from the to a train station at night at like 1:30 in the morning. They're a fairly industrial part of town. I was definitely glad I had a way to hide my valuables because I didn't know what I was going to get into. I had to walk a couple miles, so it's definitely good to have something like this. In my normal day-to-day life, I carry a knife everywhere I go. That's not always possible when you're traveling, unless you have the Lansky World Legal Knife. This knife is legal all across the United States and in virtually every country on the planet. It was specifically designed that way that it conforms to all the knife laws around the world for carry. And because of that, it's not a great knife. It's small, it's a weird shaped blade, it's very hard to open. As you can see, it takes 2 hands, and that's by design because a lot of places have laws that limit you to being able to carry knives that you can open by gravity or with one finger, one-handed opening, assisted opening, anything like that. So to make it legal everywhere, they had to make it very generic, very hard to open. But it's still better than nothing. And whether that's for self-defense, whether it's for general purpose preparedness, it's great to have a knife like this. It's only 15 to 20 bucks on Amazon. I'll put the link in the description. Great idea to have a knife like this. And it's never bad to have a knife on you. You're always gonna find it handy. The last item is something that I used a lot on my last trip, and that is simply a notebook. I love writing down this. I just recently started this with the last couple trips, but I love writing down everything that happened in the day and my different thoughts on the different things that I've seen, because in my experience from another trip that I'd been on that was about 3 weeks long, we got to see all sorts of stuff all across the country from east to west coast, and sometimes I would just forget about it and until someone would say something and I'd say, oh yeah, we went there, and then the thoughts would come rushing back. But it's a lot better to write that stuff down at the end of the day, and then you have it in your memory a lot better. Not only is the act of writing it down stick it in your memory better, but you can go back and read it, and you can link that up with the pictures that you've seen and say, oh yeah, I remember that, I remember thinking this about it, this thought popped into my head. If you're gonna write any sort of like travel memoirs or something, then a book like that, keeping records, is absolutely mandatory. And just to captions for your pictures, all sorts of stuff like that. It's a really great idea to have a little book like this you can write in, and I recommend it. This is a moleskin. You don't have to get one that's this big, or even use a notebook. You could use a computer, a laptop, or some sort of note-taking item on your phone. For me, it's a lot easier. If I didn't have a full keyboard like a laptop, I would rather write it by hand than try to text it in. Maybe I'm just old school, but I don't like trying to do a lot of stuff by the keypad on a smartphone. So it's just 5 items that I recommend that you guys have anytime you're doing any traveling. And I had a recent trip where I got to go all the way up the East Coast. I brought these things with me, all the things that I just mentioned. Those weren't the only things I brought with me, but I did travel pretty light, but I was still glad that I had all these things with me. Maybe I'll do another video or article on the actual stuff that I did bring, because it was 10 days and I just brought one small carry-on bag, and I think that's the best way to travel. But thanks for watching, guys. Check out secretoftheinternet.com, and I'll talk to you guys later.